going to be discussing the mind and the laws of attraction. This is really important because it's so important to understand how the mind works. This is critical to your future. This is critical to you, to your direction, and taking the steps towards finding what you want in this life and attracting it towards you. When I figured this out, when I came across this, and the more research I've done on this, this is phenomenal stuff. The likes of Einstein and Bob Proctor and Earl Nightingale and so many of the most successful people of the last couple of centuries actually have studied this and have figured this secret out. And it's not just even a secret. It's open. It's plain for us to learn, and it's phenomenal stuff for us to understand. So I'm excited to share this with you, and I know that this will definitely make a difference in your life. So let's get started with this. So the mind is a very powerful mechanism. Okay, it has two parts to it. It has the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. All right, the conscious mind is the thinking mind. It's the mind that we use when you're going to school, learning anything for the first time, how to drive, how to ride a bike, how to play sports. This is the part of your mind that you use to differentiate right from wrong, based on what your paradigm is, and you develop an understanding of many things with this mind, right? You learn language with this mind. You learn what emotional intelligence and all this sort of stuff comes with the conscious mind, like cause and effect for different things in your life, right? And then you have your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is your paradigm holder, but it's constantly shifting, right? It holds the sum total of your thoughts. But as I mentioned, it is constantly shifting. So the subconscious mind is influenced. The more and more you hear a certain thing, one thing or another, the more you hear one thing, the more you will start to believe it and hold on to it, because your subconscious, it will enter your subconscious mind and it will form part of your paradigm at that point, right? I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where somebody came across and brought an argument to you that was different from your true belief. And the first time they brought that, you're like, this is absolutely out to lunch. I don't believe this whatsoever. And then the second time you had a discussion with somebody about the same thing, and again, you were like adamantly like, no, this is not true. I know this happened to me when it came to power and privilege and the way men have certain privileges that women don't have. The first time I heard that, I was like, no, come on, man. Men, we don't do anything like that. And women, their thoughts and their arguments are just as nicely listened to. And it's not about whether it's a man or a woman. It's really just the concept that's being discussed. And so first time I came across that whole concept of power and privilege, when it came to men and women, I was just totally adamantly like arguing against it. And then that same concept came again into my mind, and once again I was adamantly like, no way, this is ridiculous. But then by the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, and by the 10th time, I became an advocate for power and privilege and giving women more of a voice. As time went on, I became more and more of an advocate. If you notice, similar things have probably happened in different areas of your life as well. And it could be when it comes to certain beliefs about religious beliefs and them shifting, cultural beliefs and how they've shifted over the years probably, and beliefs on how technology is taking over our lives and whether it's good or bad, and all sorts of discussions that have taken place, where at the beginning were laughed off, or just there were adamant arguments against, and as time went on, that paradigm shifted in that person's mind. And this is exactly how the subconscious mind works. It does not does not have the ability to reject or accept. It just takes everything that comes to it to be the truth, whether it's the truth or it's not the truth. So, for example, you may have, when you were going to school, for example, you may have had a professor or a teacher in high school maybe that influenced you a certain way and told you, you know what, you might think whatever you think, but you are just horrible at math. You do not know math, you will not have a career in math. And you heard this message and this stuck into you, it struck you so hard, and you started from that day on believing that you could not do math. So through grade 10, you got a C, and grade 11, you got a C, and grade 12, you got a C in math and algebra and calculus, and you're just getting C's all the time, and you're just like, man, I study so hard, I do everything, but I just don't think I can do better when it comes to math. And that's because you keep on telling yourself over and over again that you can't do math until you come across somebody who starts to tell you that no, you are amazing at math, you can do incredible stuff at math. And you're like, really? What do you mean? He's like, well, see, look, solve this equation, and you're able to solve it, and you're like, he's like, man, you can do incredible things with the mathematics you have. And there you were thinking all this time that you sucked at math. And then you start believing, hey, if I'm good at math, let me try this. And you try that equation and you're able to solve it. And you're like, you go back to your textbooks from high school and you're like, I can solve all this stuff. I am great at math. Actually, I'm amazing at math. Why was I believing all this time that I sucked at math? And it was all because your subconscious mind held that belief because of one or two incidences that took place in your life that made you hold on to that belief. So the subconscious mind is extremely powerful in that sense. On the other hand, what happens is the conscious mind conceptualizes, right? It's a creative mind, and anything that you're looking for, let's say you finish your university education or college, and you're about to go into the workforce, and you conceptualize and you look at what you want to do, and you start to say, I need to find a job so that I can start living on my own, so that I can start paying my bills. And you go out and start looking for a job. What skills do I have? What strengths do I have? Put together your resume, and you go out and you're looking for perhaps a certain type of job, or you're just looking and splattering your resume wherever it can go. And while you're looking for that job, whatever it is, you've conceptualized the idea of what you need to do, that you need to go out and look for a job, and you're trying to do that action. While you're doing that, your subconscious mind starts to shift and resonate with that thought, and it starts to really think in its mind, I need to find a job, I need to find a job. So what happens is, once this enters your subconscious mind starts to look for this job for you. Right? So it goes out searching for ideas and how you can go about to finding this job. And all of a sudden, when you see something, when your subconscious mind sees that there is an opportunity somewhere or another, it comes back into your conscious mind. It tells your conscious mind, there's the opportunity. So between the conceptual, the conscious mind, and your subconscious mind, they work together to figure out, basically, to tell your body, hey, you need to take action in a certain direction. And then your body takes that action and it acts to achieve X. It acts to find that job, or to take the steps necessary to get that job. So, for example, your conscious mind tells you, you need to look for a job, check out this Indeed.com or Indeed.ca. I can't remember which one it is. So you go and you check out Indeed, and you find 25 jobs that fit your criteria. And you start looking through them, combing through them, and it's your subconscious mind that's coming up with exactly the criteria you've given through your conscious mind what to look for. So you can filter through a whole bunch of stuff until you see certain specific words, and when you see them with your subconscious mind, they come out into your conscious, and you are able to stop right there, pick up on that, and start looking through that job ad. And your body will then look at what needs to be done and say, okay, I need to put together a cover letter, I need to put together a resume, I need to send this resume out, I need to come up with the most creative way of putting this together. And it goes out and it does that work. And while it's doing that work, because of the action that it's doing, it is also attracting something back to it because it's at a certain frequency. It's acting at a frequency, and you know our world works on frequencies, right? Radioactive waves and sound waves, and this is another frequency. This is the attraction frequency, you can call it. Let's call it that, right? So you're working, you're building your resume, you're building your cover letter, you're sending the resume and cover letter to a certain place, and then at the same time they're looking for someone of a certain caliber, certain characteristics at that specific job location, and they come across your resume and it fits. It's a perfect fit. They found what they're looking for, you found what you're looking for, you meet somewhere in the middle, and then you continue that conversation over an interview or whatnot. Now, this is a very simple way of looking at this whole concept, but basically the whole idea is the conscious mind is what conceptualizes a thought of what you need. The subconscious mind then shifts your paradigm and shifts your understanding and shifts things around so that that concept resonates with you. It fits your paradigm. That yes, okay, your conscious mind says you want this. Your subconscious mind finally shifts in order to say yes, I want this, and starts looking for how you can get it, and then comes back to your body and tells your body, go take action on this, and you will find what your conscious mind is looking for and wants, right? Now this is so these are two different aspects of how the conscious mind and the subconscious mind works. One of the major things, the reason for me bringing this up and showing this to you and going through this process is our influences are so important, because the more you have certain influences, the more you will believe certain things. So if your influences are negative, you will become negative. You will see lack in your life. Whether you like it or not, you will believe the world to be a dark place. And you will be digging yourself a deeper and deeper grave. You're spiraling downward. But if you start to see the world as a positive place, because and start to follow people who believe in that positivity and follow people who have what you want, that influence will penetrate into your subconscious mind, and you will be able to then resonate with that better, and then take action on that level and attract what you really want in life, right? It's really up to you who you want to be around. Your influences play such a huge, important role in this process. I can't stress it enough. But you are also in charge of your influences. You yourself as a person can be your biggest influence in the positive direction. And that's a lot of what I want to drive you towards over the next few weeks. The whole idea for the next few weeks, I mean, this is a 6-week course. The whole idea is by the end of this to have included and working on success principles on a daily basis that will totally influence and affect your future outlook and your future results. Day by day, you're going to take certain specific actions, and a lot of those actions have to do with fixing your subconscious mind so that you're able to attract what you want and act on what you want with your body, right? So I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about here. When we're looking at our subconscious mind, as I mentioned, this is just the paradigm holder, and it's the sum total of our thoughts. So I want you to imagine, for example, being in a situation or a relationship where it's a little bit hostile. Let's say you really have a passion for um, learning, okay, reading books and learning. or watching, let's say watching movies and learning from movies, because you learn through connection and through visualizing things. And when you watch movies, you can see that those movies, you can see it in front of you, that you learn so much from that experience, right? And you know that for yourself, you've seen that in your life. Now all of a sudden you enter into a relationship with you where this significant other of yours just hates movies, does not want to watch movies, thinks that most movies are poor influences, and is not interested in watching movies with you. This is just an example, okay? And every time you're around this person, they're telling you that forget movies. I don't want to watch a movie. Now you've already come from the thought, the point of view that you love movies, but every time you are sitting with this person, which is practically all the time, and they're telling you, no, let's not watch a movie. Movies are bad influences. 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 What happens is your thoughts start to change and believe that movies are bad influences, and the chances are it will take you a long time before you watch another movie, right? Let's take another example. That was kind of an interesting example, but let's take another example. Let's take the example of math, right? So just imagine you go through high school, and you go through you're entering university, and you are at the top of your game. You know everything. You were one of those crazy straight A students that just went right through high school with no problem, and you're entering university now, and you are gamed. You're ready. Okay, bring on the calculus, your engineering program, and you write your first test, and your first test you bomb. You just totally get like 70%. Okay, so all of a sudden you've gone from a perspective of I'm awesome at math to, okay, 70%. That's not really what I was expecting, but that's 70%. So currently, your scale sort of just tipped in that negative side, saying maybe you're not that so hot when it comes to math. And then you write another quiz or exam or assignment, and again you get a 65 this time. Like, holy crap, yo, maybe I'm not that good at math. And then you write the next exam and you get a 48, and then boom, now you're really starting to believe that you're not good at math, right? And then you get a 53. Holy mackerel, how am I going to get myself out of this situation? And then you get a 25%, and then you get a 60%, and then you get a 70%, and then you get a 25% and a 30%, and then it's time for your final exam. And you're like, you're definitely not the same person you were when you started this course. You're in a little bit of a problem right now because your subconscious mind believes you cannot do math well. And that affects your next result, right? So your next result will be affected by what your subconscious mind believes is your state, whether it's true or not. You could be still a complete genius at math, but you're already entering this exam with the belief that you're not going to do well. So the chances are pretty high that you're not going to do well. And you end up bombing that exam because of your mental state at that point, your subconscious thought, right? So let's take this another way, okay? You're in a situation now where maybe you're taking this course because you're in a place where you don't feel you should be. You should be in a different place. You had different ideas for your life, or you currently don't believe that you have very good people skills, but in reality, you could be an amazing leader. Or you currently don't have confidence in certain areas, but in reality, you could really excel in those areas. All right. And what we see here, say, feel, and touch, and ends up contributing to the sum total of our beliefs, the sum total of our thoughts, right? Um, so now here's the idea. If you're constantly telling yourself, um, you know, I don't have leadership abilities. I don't have leadership abilities. I'm really bad around people. I'm really bad around people. I don't have people skills. I'm lacking in people skills. I'm lacking in people skills. Then that's not good, because you will continue to be that way because that is your belief. Now, if we take it the other way around and we start now at this point, you're kind of in the hole here. Let's say you're in the hole by 7 tipped scales that are saying you are just not leadership material. But if you come around and you start getting influenced by people who start pointing out your strengths, and they say, you actually have great public speaking abilities. You actually have amazing public speaking abilities. You know, you are an excellent listener, and when you're an excellent listener, people want to engage with you, and they think that you are somebody who has their best interest in mind. You're an amazing listener. You you have a very smart mind, and you have figured out how to engage with people. Every time you talk, I feel like I'm totally engaged and ready to take action on whatever you say. I feel like I'm totally engaged and to take action on whatever you say. I think you're an excellent listener, and now you've evened the scale. And now, on the other hand, you're going to start tipping the scale on the other side and saying, you are totally leadership material. I can see the way you interact with people, and you're exactly the type of leader that we want in our organization. Wow, you did an excellent job leading that last project. I want you to lead the next project. Wow, you are a fantastic public speaker. I need you to do more presentations for us, because when people listen to you, you make a fantastic difference in our company's future. And wow, you just did another fantastic job on that last project with your team. You owe yourself, you get a bonus as a result. Wow, you're such a great leader. You're a fantastic leader. Look at the way how good you are at engaging your people, and so forth. And now you are a confident, comprehensive, confident, competent, effective leader. And so much of this just came from the right influence, the right people that are telling you the right things, or you yourself telling yourself what you need to hear over and over and over again until your subconscious mind shifts and you start to believe in that thought, right? So this is a very important thing that I'm trying to convey here, that you today and you in the future, who you are today doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all, because it is transient. You are constantly in a state of flux. You're either getting better or worse in many different aspects of your life, and the sum total of your thoughts are changing on a daily basis, multiple times a day, based on the influences and your own belief of how you're doing in life, right? So what matters most is, ultimately, what matters is who you strive to become in the future. And it's totally up to you to be around the right people and in the right mind frame to reach those results that you're looking for. So the choices you make now will determine your future results. And so here's your current self, and there's your future self, right? And you are making efforts to get to your future self, and at the same time, there is a pushback from that future self because you're not there yet. So maybe you're basically inching forward at some kind of a rate, but as long as you're taking action and effort and your influences are in the right direction, you are getting towards your future self. And with every action that you do, and if you do this on a daily basis and really, really work to push that envelope and put in that effort to become the future self that you want to, you will get closer and closer, but you will experience ups and downs through that process. So I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, you are someone who's very insular. You're not someone who it's very easy for you to be in videos, or very easy for you to blog or to share your thoughts openly in public. You're more of like, I can have a small discussion with somebody, talk over a coffee, or people who I'm really comfortable with, but not anybody more than that. But you realize that in order to become who you want to become in the future, you need to change. You're not who you want to be right now. Otherwise, you'd have what you want right now, right? So inevitably, you need to engage, you need to change. And the effort that you need to put in to change is not easy. When you're starting off um, trying to do something, the effort that it takes to get started is always way more than when you have momentum, right? But so you're putting in the effort and it's being pushed back, and you're putting in the effort and it's being pushed back. And so you're constantly in this transient state of pushing and fluxing and pushing and fluxing back and forth until you go back and forth, and finally you reach your future self eventually. And so essentially your future self should be you. I mean, your future, your role model, your role model in life should be you in the future. That's really what you're attracted to. And it's up to you to get yourself to that point. They're your role model because you want to become that. So your future self, if you do this correctly and you really lead your life, learn to lead your life, your future self is your today's role model, right? So again, what we see, we hear, we say, we feel, the influences that are around us, what we put into our lives, it's all our decision, and it all affects our subconscious mind, and it's up to us to tip the scale. We have that ability to tip the scale. So if we're constantly in situations where we're telling people, oh, I don't have any time, I don't have any time, I don't have any time, oh my God, I'm so busy, I don't have any time, there's not enough time in the day, I don't have enough time, there's never any time. Guess what? There's not enough time. The problem is everybody has the same amount of time. We still have that. We have that exact 24 hours of time. It's the same for everybody. But it's what are we focusing our time on? If we want to build a side business, and we're too busy to do it, there's something else that we need to sacrifice in order to get the time to do it. But really, it's just time. I don't have enough time is just an excuse for not doing something. Instead, if you really want to do something, you're going to tell yourself, I have an inevitable amount of time. I have an unlimited amount of time to do what I need to do. I have an infinite amount of time, and I'm going to figure this out. And day by day, you are going to find the time to get the results and get what you want, and start to realize that you have the time. You just need to structure it right to get exactly what you want. And now you're starting to tip the scales and saying, I have the time that I need, and I'm using my time wisely. I have the time that I need, and I use my time wisely. I am very wise with my time, and I am using it appropriately to get the results that I want in my life. And guess what? At this point in time, you have confidence, and you yourself, your subconscious mind, completely have the belief in totality that you have the time to do what you want to do, and you're attracting more and more of that time towards you. So I'm sure when you look at this, you can imagine the effect that this can have if you are able to tap into the correct influences all the time, just understanding the subconscious mind and how it works. Now it's all about tipping the scale in your favor. And we're going to introduce the first habit that we're going to be using from now for the rest of our lives when it comes to tipping the scale and hacking your subconscious mind. And this habit is the use of progressive statements. You see, just like was mentioned in this earlier in this video, we tend to be around people and talk about things with people that are negative for ourselves. They put us down. We'll say stuff like, oh, life is tough. This is hard. I never have enough time. I need more time. I'm out of energy. I need to sleep more. I need to take better care of myself, or whatever it is. Or I'm not good enough. I'm not able to do this. I need help. All these different things, right? Oh, I'm screwed. I messed up. All these things affect our subconscious mind and attract more and more negativity towards us, and they stifle us in our own condition. The key now is to start using statements that will flip the switch switch those scales around and weigh heavy on the direction that we really want to go in, which is that positive direction. So when we hear something that, or we say something that does not jive with the direction we want to go, the first thing we're going to tell ourselves is cancel, cancel, cancel. For example, if you feel that there's that cold that's coming on, you feel that tickle in your throat, and right away the first thing you say is, oh, I'm coming down with something, or oh, I'm feeling sick, and we're attracting more and more of that to us, right? So instead of that, we're going to say, I'm in the process of feeling better. My body is in the process of fixing itself. These are progressive statements that can be true. Because when we are getting sick, we're seeing the symptoms, and those symptoms that we're seeing are actually the body that's fighting against whatever it is that has come upon us. So it is actually, this is a true statement. Or another statement that we hear all the time is, I'm out of time. I don't have enough time. The truth really is, you're in the process of figuring out how to use your time wisely so that you have the time for the things that you really want to focus on. So we're going to be working on these progressive statements. This week, it's about progressive statements. It's about hacking our mind completely. And I'm going to go through a process with you during our one-on-one coaching session. But in the meantime, what I really want you to do is start focusing and figuring out what it is that you constantly are telling yourself or hearing from others that would negatively be affecting your subconscious mind. Right? So here are some examples of what a progressive statement would look like. I am on the path to developing my financial base and leading the life that I want to live. So when you feel that you don't have the resources and you don't have the money, and you're saying, oh, I'm out of money, I don't have enough money, I never have enough money for the things I want to do, this would be a good thing to say. Right away you should say, cancel, cancel, cancel. Otherwise your subconscious mind is going to attract more of that towards you, which you don't want, right? So when you hear yourself saying something like that, or somebody else saying the same thing, or who's around you, you want to cancel that statement out. Cancel, 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 and right away you want to say, I'm on the path to developing my financial base and leading the life that I want to live. When you feel that sickness coming on, to be changing your statement from saying, instead of saying, oh, I can feel something coming on, I'm getting sick, I'm coming down with something, I'm not feeling well. Instead of that, to say, cancel, 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 I'm on my way to being whole and healthy. And then I'm on the path to leading my life and taking it in the direction that I choose to. Instead of thinking, oh, I don't have enough time to do the things that I want to do, or there's never any time, I'm too busy, life is so busy, 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 busy. How many times do we hear this sentence then? I'm so busy. Busy doing what? I hope you're busy moving in the direction of the life that you want to lead, right? Instead, we should say, I'm on the path to leading my life and taking it in the direction I choose to with the time that I have. So, as mentioned, as a recap here, we're about to start on our first habit of hacking our subconscious mind. And we're going to be doing that through the use of progressive statements. I'll be sharing the formula with you exactly when we meet on our call. But in the meantime, I do have some homework for you. All right, and here is your homework, and this is one of the sheets that are available on this coaching module, Overcoming Limiting Beliefs. As you go through your week, pay specific attention to your thoughts and the words that you hear coming out of your mouth and the mouths of others who are around you. Why? Because your influences affect your thoughts, which then affect your feelings, and your feelings will affect the action that you take, and the action that you take will affect the results that you have in life. So essentially, your influences will affect your results, and we want to be cognizant and aware of what's going on around us in order to change whatever it is that we want to change in the positive side, in order to realize what has been entering our subconscious mind and how to hack it, right? So some of the statements you might hear over the week are: life is difficult, the weather sucks, I'm so screwed, there's not enough time, I can't do that, I don't think this is going to work, I can't get a good job because I didn't graduate from college or university, or I don't know anything, I'm not well educated, I don't have any money, I'm stuck, work is piling up, I don't know what to do, too many decisions. All or any of these could be going on, and could be something that is filling in your subconscious mind. And there are so many more phrases that come up. I want you to carry a small notepad with you and take the time to pay attention to the words and phrases that come up consistently, and then write those common phrases down. So as you write these phrases down, you become more conscious of these phrases, and it's so important to be conscious of what's going on, what is entering your subconscious mind. But upon becoming aware of it and writing it down, then tell yourself each time you come across these phrases in the future, you have to say cancel, cancel, cancel. Stop the thoughts in its track and then release it. Sometimes these thoughts become very powerful in your mind, and you need to do a little bit of meditation. What would help is to sit up straight as you possibly can, or stand up straight. Make sure that you're not bent over, but straight up. Put your head up a little bit, your neck up a little bit, and take deep breaths. Deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. And keep on doing that until you're able to focus on your breath instead of the thoughts that are going on in your mind. Tell your mind, cancel, cancel, cancel. And it's time to start reframing and changing your energy around those thoughts that are going on. And this is something that I do with my clients on a one-on-one level. Really help them become clear of the issues that they have with their subconscious mind, and become clear on what kind of phrases they can use to overtake that, and hack the mind to start working in your favor. So as you look down here, there is a formula that you can follow, and that formula is to start off with a phrase that starts with I am in the process of becoming the strongest version of myself. Right? Or let's say it's got to do with time. I'm running out of time. You say, I am in the process of focusing my energy and my time on the things that will give me the best results. Right? In order to say yes to some things, you have to say no to other things. Right? So it's about focusing your time. Then being specific, when are you going to be working on this, or when are you in the process of doing this? Over the next 6 weeks, when do you want to have this completed? So start being specific on the timing. And then what does it mean to you? This is necessary, or this is important for me in order to experience gratitude and happiness, or this is important for me to move forward in achieving the results in my life that I want to achieve. And then what's the feeling that you get from it? I'm excited about the direction I'm taking, or I'm excited about being in control of my time and of my life, right? So as you can see from here, we come up with a full statement. I'm in the process of becoming the strongest version of myself over the next 6 weeks. This is necessary for me to experience happiness. I am excited about the direction I've taken and reaching my full potential. Right? The next thing to do is really ask yourself, what is it that I can learn from this situation that's going on right now around me, right? And then believe in your own value and that you have limitless potential, right? So the first thing is becoming aware of your thoughts, and especially the negative thoughts that are holding you back, the things that keep you up at night, the things that when you wake up in the middle of the night are in your mind and you can't go back to sleep. What are those thoughts? Write them down. Once you've gained an understanding and consciousness of those thoughts when they come up, then it's about tackling these thoughts. And the way you tackle them is by starting off by saying, cancel, cancel, cancel. Consciously tell yourself, cancel, cancel, cancel. When these negative thoughts are coming on, cancel, cancel, cancel. If it's very strong, take a deep breath, take a few deep breaths, sit up straight, and empty out your mind by focusing on your breath. And once you've calmed yourself down, then tell yourself, then start telling yourself your progressive statements, which are this formula. Over here, it's I'm in the process of becoming the strongest version of myself over the next 6 weeks. This is necessary for me to experience happiness. I'm excited about the direction I've taken and reaching my full potential. Right? Now, when you say these, feel the words. Feel what it is that you're saying. Feel that happiness that will come once you have overcome or become the strongest version of yourself, or you're focusing your energy in the right direction. What's the excitement that will come about? Bathe in it, like steep in that. Feel it. Be in that moment, right? And and then once you've passed that situation, and if you're ever reflecting and thinking about the situation, always ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? And believe in your value and what you have to bring to this world, because you have something incredibly significant to give to this world, and it's about figuring that out. And it's a step-by-step process of life, going through that and figuring it out. Okay, so as you are aware, I do personal coaching around this area, and I really help people come up with the word choices, becoming conscious of what the issues are specifically, and coming up the wording and the prescription of how to use these statements. And what I suggest to everyone is, when you're starting off, every morning when you wake up, say your statements. Every afternoon, right around lunchtime, say your statements. In the evening, right before going to bed, say your statements. This will start to enter your subconscious mind and take effect. Not only that, but when you find yourself in those situations and your thoughts are on the negative side, and you catch yourself, cancel, 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 and say your statements and feel them until that feeling of negativity goes away and the positivity is there, and then move forward with your life. By doing this, you will start to see massive improvements in your life. If you need help with this, please, you have the opportunity to sign up for a single coaching session. This is a special offer that I offer to the people who have taken this program. And that single coaching session is highly discounted for your benefit. I strongly believe everybody deserves to have a fulfilling life, a life of happiness and balance, and I want to give this is like a gift to you at a very good cost. I have programs for which I sell in the thousands of dollars. However, for those who are on a budget or want to try out, get a sense of what I have to offer, then this is something that is affordable, and or something that's good for a trial, right? Um, what can be gained from this? A complete shift in your life, in your health, because stress is the biggest cause of heart disease, and let's overcome that stress. Boredom is another one, right? Becoming conscious of yourself is a process that it's a process of becoming a much better version of yourself, right? It's about experiencing a much better quality of life, and it all starts with the mind, right? So if you feel you will benefit from a coaching session, you have the opportunity to sign up for one. You can scroll down after this and and follow the instructions for that. And I personally will dedicate the hour with you, looking at what your situation is, what are your limiting beliefs, or what are the regular statements that you're going through on the negative patterns, and working with you, coming up with the right word choices, and the prescription that will help you. But you need to be ready to take action. That's the main point.